I am leaving Northfield Park. I just started my video and my phone crashed. It has been a not a very nice day, top to bottom. That's my other suit, right? I got an entire laundromat here of suits, wet and muddy suits to clean tonight. And I got to get them all ready because it's supposed to rain tomorrow at the Meadows again. I'll tell you one thing: it's been a while since I've been rained on as hard as I was during Melisandre's post parade, and then tonight during Mountains for All, the last race. I remembered that there was saline in the driver's room. Somebody was smart enough to buy a thing of like contact solution, just saline. I'll tell you what, first time I ever used it, they had like an eye washing center at Georgian Downs when it first opened. You just put your eye in a little cup and it would like kind of rinse it, and it was with that stuff. And I'll tell you one thing, man, oh man, the difference was unbelievable. If you raced in the mud at Georgian Downs and went home, you could shower for the next 5 days and you would still get rocks coming out of your eyes from Georgian Downs, and it would hurt. You just feel like sandpaper the next day. But you just had that jug and washed your eyes out. It was pretty good, a million times better. And they do feel better right now than they did when I come off the track. Just a horrible day weather-wise. I can't complain too much. For the most part, I lucked out tonight. A little bit of rain in the last race, a little bit of rain in an earlier race, but for the most part, the rain was kind of stopped when I was on the track. Now, I'll rewind to the start of the day because it certainly was not stopped when I went on the track with Melisandre. As I said, I don't remember it ever raining as hard in a race. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And just as I said that, when I post-paraded for the Gold Cup one year, the year that the races were canceled, they post-paraded the Gold Cup and Saucer. It rained so hard in the post-parade and rained for so long, it just destroyed the track. They did a hell of a job to get the track even good for the next day. Postponed the Gold Cup and Saucer until Sunday morning. One race, Sunday morning, and I've never seen anything like it. I think it was a non-betting event on Sunday morning, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe you could wager, I don't remember. But it almost seemed, I walked up the ramp to go across the track for a post-parade, and I think there was more people there on Sunday morning than there was on Saturday night. I've never seen anything like it. Anyway, it rained hard that night, and I don't think I've ever seen it rain as hard as it did then. Today would have been a close second, but it only rained for 8-10 minutes max. By the time it started raining to when we left the track and went back to the paddock, I could not have been more wet if you wrapped me in sponges. I was saturated. Change my turtleneck, but you mean you're changing a turtleneck and then putting a wet driving suit over top of it. And that was the 9th. I still had to drive it the 10th. Anyway, to the horses, you know, with Melisandre, I have to understand the ownership dynamic of Melisandre. A smaller group of people that bought Melisandre to be world champion, right? Bought her to be a state champion, bought her to be a serious filly. Just didn't pan out. Now, she's always going to carry some worth as a broodmare, and she's an okay horse, but she's not worth a fraction of what we paid for her at the yearling sale, or what we have into her right now. But if I judge her on a horse, just strip away what we have into her, what we paid for her. This is a horse. What do you think of her? She's a nice little filly. You know, she's going to do better. She's going to take a decent mark. As I said, she's going to carry some worth into the fall, where we'll likely sell her. But she's grown on me, and I can't be angry because she's not as good as we want her to be. All I can do is race the horse that we have. 4th today, first start on Lasix. She bled quite a bit 7 days ago. But the conundrum was, if we wait another week to race her, we're going to have to train her in between. She's not a very good trainer. You're going to have to train her on Lasix. Why don't we just put her back in? And she was fine today. Finished up her mile good. 57 and a piece. Last quarter 29. Last half 57 and a bit. I thought she was a decent mile. Keep in mind, this is a filly with what? 6 lifetime starts? I wasn't disappointed in her. Because I have to continue to tell myself also, it doesn't matter what we pick. Well, Vehement's a perfect example. I'd just like to be the guy that, or the group that bought him $325,000 for a solid 58 trotter. That's a tough one. And we've had our own too. Every stable does. Just because you pay a lot for a horse doesn't mean you bought a good horse. You're buying the possibility of a good horse. Good pedigree, good conformation, moves nice in the field, sharp eye, nice head. These are the things, the pedigree and everything underneath it is what you're paying for. But you still got to race the horse. So I'm not disappointed in her. As I said, she's kind of grown on me. I like her, and we're going to continue to race her. A decent fourth, as I said today, after all things considered, I thought a pretty decent mile for her. Neptune was the surprise of the night. If you'd have told me who's the lock for the night, Mounts for All. I'll get to him in a minute. Neptune bled a little bit last week. His blood wasn't perfect. Jason and Dr. Latesta looked at his blood, had a plan, and executed it. The horse raced well today. I knew the 1, 2, and 3 could all leave. I had no interest in mixing it up with Neptune. I had almost zero confidence in him. I've driven him twice. Didn't I drive him twice? No, he raced him over here twice. I drove him once. I was not impressed. But a lot went into that race. So I was trying my hardest to forget last week and focus on tonight. My plan was simple. Get away fourth, follow cover, or wait as long as I could to be first over. Or don't move him at all if somebody's coming early. As it turned out, the pace was pretty hot. Nobody was on the move early. I made sure he was ready to roll before I popped him out of that hole. I rolled up onto Tyler's back 2 or 3 times before I finally cut him loose. And he actually raced well. He could have been a hanging second. Instead, he was a driving off winner. No complaints. That was a vastly improved mile from last week, for sure. Now, Jason being aggressive with his entry has him back in to go Sunday. Double entered him in that class. Looks like a genius now. So we'll see how he races on Sunday, but he certainly raced good tonight. I went on the track with Vehement. When I moved him second over, I thought he was for sure a winner. I didn't really know how good Aaron's horse looked, but the fact that he didn't remove him to the front and he was now first over, and I was following him, left me with a feeling of confidence. But Vehement hasn't raced in 2 weeks. A little bit short, and I could see him kind of start to flatten halfway down the backstretch. I had to abandon my hopes of winning and focus on securing second, which is exactly what I did. He raced well to finish off the horse in the 2-hole, get up for second. I talked briefly with Kurt Selg after the race. We were just talking about horses. He said, he raced pretty good. He said, that was a pretty good mile over that track. I said, yeah, it was. He just goes out and just gets it done, right? He's not special, he's not flashy, and if you watch him race, you're left with a feeling that, man, that is one ugly trotter. Mosquitoes rode already? Are you kidding me? But you gotta respect the consistency. He goes out and puts in an honest effort. We found a good class for him, and he goes out and puts in an honest effort every week. So a good job by him. I knew there was something amiss with Mounts for All when I scored him down. I literally could have got off and run by him. But he's not a great trainer, and he doesn't score down great because he's lazy. He can be a little sour sometimes. And I haven't seen him in a while. But the one thing when I was done scoring him down that I was left feeling was, man, he tied up like 3-4 weeks ago pretty good. He's not known for tying up. It hadn't happened in the past. I had no reason to think that it wasn't a one-off, but I am almost positive when we pull that blood tomorrow, we're going to have a significant number. And it didn't feel like a new one. You know, when these horses, he emptied out going to the gate, his ears were up. I think whatever is there is residual. And then I think back to where he just raced. Shipped him all the way to Indiana, raced him hard, you know, left. I don't even get in for a minute. He was first over with him, and then they shipped him home. That was what, 10, 11 days ago? I bet you he tied up then. Oh, well, no. Because if AST is like 2,500 and CK is normal, well, it's old residual tie-up. And then he lost a shoe in the last turn. Now, in good faith, I can't say that he didn't make a break and grab that shoe. Or I don't know whether he did that or whether he lost the shoe and made a break. I can't say with utmost certainty which came, you know, chicken or the egg. I can't tell which happened first. But nevertheless, he finished up his mile missing his left front shoe and flat as a pancake. And 0 going anywhere in the mile. So we'll regroup, draw his blood, but I can almost 100% guarantee. I would bet very, very good money that he tied up. And it wasn't since he arrived back here. I think this is old residual tie-up that we're left dealing with. We're going to have to jug him up and treat him up, train him up, and make sure he's ready to go next time he goes behind the gate. I'm sure I'm going to have somebody message me and say, Anthony, maybe put the hobbles back on him. The horse never needed hobbles in his life. He never left very good with the hobbles on the 2 starts he had them on. And tonight's break was probably out of frustration as much as anything else. And out in the 4-wide path, kind of scrubbing on him a little bit. Maybe he did grab that shoe. But he just had no life. None. Now the only solace for everybody, my partners are, is quite simple. That's a non-winners of 7. He has 6 wins. He can win it once. Made a break today. He'll win it. He's a better horse than they are. They win like 59 apiece. He just wasn't good today. Figure out why? Pretty sure we're on the case. Pretty sure we have a pretty good idea who the prime suspect is or what the prime suspect is. Fix it. Get him back in to go. So that's the plan for our guy, Mounts for All. Now tomorrow, a big day. I really hope the rain holds off. You can't ever tell for sure. It was supposed to pour all day at the Meadows. It only rained for a very short time. And we were supposed to get dumped on all night at Northfield Park. And although there was some heavy rain intermittently, luckily I was able to miss most of it tonight. So, tomorrow, I hope the rain holds off. I'm really looking forward to racing. Looks like money. Captain Incredible looking so forward to racing both those horses. Texan Soprano races tomorrow. We have a super busy weekend. Friday, we have Tenacious Hanover, Patrick the Piranha, Manhattan Money, 3-point blue chip. Yo Mister will close it out 3-1 in what looks to be the backup class. So good luck to everybody on Friday. Probably our best chance. Patrick's at the outside. Tenacious got the outside. Probably Manhattan Money and 3-point blue chip. And Yo Mister, 3 decent shots. On Saturday, I'll be in Ontario, but we will be racing here. Rock Shining Star is in to go. Rose Run Alexandra is Chris Lems. Rock Shining Star is King Kaufman. Time is on my side. JK Victory. James will drive both of those in Mohawk. Time is a prep for the Graduate, so probably won't race him too hard, I don't think, in the Open. I will be back here on Sunday where we got a little bit of a gamble. Jason was right last time. He said looks like money would get around Northfield. He was right. He also said that Spitfire Overseas would get around Northfield. We're going to find out. This will be Spitfire's first trip, official mile ever on a half-mile track, I believe. I'm going to race him in the Open. Outside post again. Can you believe that? 8-hole again with, and this wasn't a handicap. This was just a straight open draw of 8 for Save America. I believe we're going to have to race him the same way. He wasn't getting in the class at Scioto this week. We opted to enter him in the class at Northfield Park, and he ended up getting in with the 8-hole. So we'll see. We'll see how he is and how things play out, but tough spot to leave from. for him. So I am tired right now. Very tired. It is 20 after 12. A long day of racing in the mud in 2 places. Almost finished off what I thought was a really good day. A pretty solid 4th with Melisandre in her first start on Lazex. Surprisingly big mile from Neptune. Great job by Jason and everybody, and Kaylee and Cordon, getting this guy ready to go. He was good tonight. Vehement raced as good as he could get, snagged a deuce. And then an oddly poor mile from Mounts for All, but worry not, I'm almost positive I know what happened, and we can fix it quite easily. So there you have it. That is your Wednesday in a nutshell. I'm going to sleep in a little bit till 8:30 tomorrow. I assume Amy will take the kids to school, and then I'll head over to the meadows. It is supposed to rain here also tomorrow, so not a lot going on here tomorrow. Jogging some horses, but I'll be a spectator in the morning. So with that, I'll let you go. Take care. Your day is over. Your Wednesday is over. Your Thursday is just beginning. Have a great day ahead. I will talk to all of you guys at some point tomorrow.